Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to look at the most anticipated phone, according to me at least, the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and let's see how well it does. Before we get into the main video, do subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon and don't forget to like the video. So the 13 Pro Max is out and it's been a couple of days. The design is pretty similar to what we had on the 12 Pro series. So the 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max. So you have stainless steel bands around it, ceramic shield glass, which is the same, the mute switch is there, which I really like. Apart from that, the speaker grill, the lightning port, everything is absolutely the same. What has changed is the notch. It has become a slightly smaller notch and a tad bit taller as well. Apart from that, the camera bump. We'll get into the camera specifications in the latter part of the video, but before we do that, let's check out the other parts of the phone. And first, let's look at the display. So it is a 120Hz Super XDR OLED display at a 6.7 inch. The Pro has a 6.1 inch. Everything seems faster, and I will be doing a detailed comparison between the 12 Pro Max and the 13 Pro Max, including a speed test. So do subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for that. So apart from the 120Hz display, the display is a little bit brighter as well. So you get a 1200 nits at peak brightness and 1000 nits normally, which is better than the 12 Pro Max. I would say that you can only see the differences with respect to direct sunlight. Otherwise, they both are extremely bright. And now I'm going to talk about the performance, because the display is pretty good. Now, the performance, we are looking at an A15 Bionic, which is again the fastest chip in the market right now, and any smartphone, better than the A14 Bionic, and it is considerably faster. So we will look at that also in the speed test. Apart from that, we do have the same 6 GB of RAM in these phones, and the storage goes to a 1 TB, and the RAM remains the same. The batteries have gone up considerably. So my usage with this phone is giving me a lot of time on screen on as well as screen off or standby time. So you're looking at a 5 hours and the phone is at 50 or 60% of battery life still. And if I look at the values, we're looking at a 4532 mAh battery, which is practically the largest battery Apple has ever put in the iPhone. I think Apple has done a fabulous job by making the phone slightly thicker, heavier, but with better battery life. So that's the performance and battery life. Not much to talk here. Apple has done extremely well with respect to this, and it should have been done, I think, about 2 years ago with respect to the 120Hz OLED, but it's here now and it is fantastic with respect to all the apps. Now, there is one more thing in the 120Hz department, which is this is an LTPO panel, so it can range between 10 Hz to 120 Hz depending upon what content you're viewing. So if you're looking at say a video which is fixed to some FPS, say 30 FPS, you are going to look at a 30 FPS or a 30 Hz screen only. So Apple is managing this intelligently. Personally, on the Android side, I do not like this too much because Android doesn't do much with it, but Apple is doing it pretty well. And in some apps, you do feel that the 120 Hz is not kicking in, but Apple has made it very easy for developers to get on that. So I assume that we're going to see it very quickly now. Apart from that, there is not much which has changed. And obviously, you have iOS 15, which comes with its own perks. And I have made a detailed video on iOS 15, so you can check that out. Links in the description. Now let's talk about the cameras, which is, according to me, the major change here. So with the new cinematic mode, ProRes, which is not currently available but hopefully comes with a software upgrade, we're looking at a 12 megapixel wide, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 12 megapixel telephoto lens, and this time it goes to optical zoom of 3x and digital zoom of 15x at max. which is not too good according to me, because if you're looking at only 15x, we have cameras with 100x now, and smartphone cameras. So this is where it lacks. Otherwise, it still has the LiDAR sensor as well for depth, and that follows from the iPhone 12 series as well. So no changes with the LiDAR at least. The sensors are bigger, so you see a considerable size difference as well, which might help with a good bokeh effect because of the large sensors. But I would love to see a higher zoom capability of the phone. So that's not there yet, but it's fine, hopefully in the next iPhones. If you look at what has come in now, we have got photographic styles, which is basically like filters, but it is inbuilt into the camera processing, which is a major jump according to me. So you have modes like standard, rich contrast, vibrant, warm, and cool. So all these modes are pretty good that way. Apart from that, there is something known as cinematic mode and the macro camera. Now let me talk about the macro camera first. So the ultra wide dubs as a macro camera, and it is pretty good. So you can go up to 2 centimeters away from your subject, or near to your subject rather, and it does pretty well with macro. It is one of the best macro cameras I have tested, at least. Not like the gimmicks which we have on Android, which is like a 2 megapixel or 5 megapixel. So this is good that way. The cinematic mode didn't impress me too much. It is basically a video filter which you have on normal softwares, video calling softwares like say Microsoft Teams or Zoom. It is very similar to that. It just background blurs the subject if the subject is not looking at the camera directly, or the person in this case. But yes, it is a good addition, and I'm glad smartphone cameras have reached here. And now let's listen to the speakers. It's a bottom firing and a front firing. The earpiece has shifted a little bit to the edge now because of the notch reduction, and I'll keep quiet so that you can hear the phone. We're going to talk about the Airpods and the Airpods Pro, and let's see which one should you get and which one is the right one to buy in 2020. And there are tons of differences with respect to these Airpods. I'm going to go through all of them so that it... So those are the speakers, and they sound absolutely brilliant. Nothing great compared to what we have seen earlier on the 12 series, the 11 series, and the 10 series before that. So pretty good there. Overall, it is an amazing phone. I would highly recommend this phone if you're coming from say the 11 series or the 10 series before that. If you're on the 12 series, I think you can skip this one. You do not need to get this one. But if you're crazy for the 120 Hz and the cameras, then I would suggest you go for this phone. And that's all from me. Let me know down in the comment section if you have any queries, and as usual, thanks for watching.